Well, my oh my, things sure have changed on the rivers of America since 1955. All those trees have grown up and these waters have seen quite a few changes along the shores of the river. But in recent years, there has been no bigger change than this. The brand new attraction, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, is open. We're back at Disneyland. And when I say Tiana's Bayou Adventure is open, I mean today, November 15th, 2024, is the first day of its public operation. That's right, once again, people are dropping logs at Disneyland. And as you can see, there's no chaos, there's no craziness. Considering the big news, everybody seems remarkably calm. And I put that down to the brilliant invention of the virtual queue for new rides. I hate the reservation system for park tickets. Like, I feel like if you buy a park ticket, you should get to just go in the park. But the virtual queue, smart. As you can see, Critter Country has been renamed Bayou Country. The new signage is up everywhere for the most part. All the construction walls are down. Everything over here with a new theme is now open. Hungry Bear Jamboree Restaurant. The old Indian trading post turned Briar Patch is now Ray's Berets, with a whole wonderful new theme inside. I mean, it looks amazing in there. And as you can see out here, they are calling people's virtual queue groups to get in line. And as you may have guessed, judging by the low angle of the sun, we are now well into this November afternoon without any stampeding or craziness, and the ride isn't broken down. Now, obviously, since you're seeing me here as the sun is basically going down, I didn't manage to make it here in the morning. We didn't get a virtual queue. Normally, the way virtual queues work, there'll be an initial one when the park first opens to see if you're gonna get a turn, and then they'll do another one maybe at like noon or 1 p.m. The cool thing about the Tiana go-around of virtual queues is that you actually have 4 chances throughout the day, the last one being at 4 p.m., which is coming up here in a couple of minutes, so technically I have one more chance to maybe get on this ride today, and I still haven't been on it at all. Although I hear they're going to be taking a while to load up today, a little longer than expected because the ride has broken down a few times earlier. Hey, but the fact that it's still going, bravo. Anyways, whether we got on or not, we knew we had to head down here to check things out. I at least wanted to see how many of the construction walls actually came down for opening day, and look at this. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see the sneaky little Splash Mountain path reopened again where you can spy on all the logs down below you. Nice to have that sneaky little shortcut back to the back of Fowler's Harbor and Fowler's Inn. And of course, coming around the front of it, there's the biggest change of them all, maybe. Just look at this. It's the gargantuan new Haunted Mansion carriage house slash barn slash gift shop. Just days ago, this was all covered with construction walls down here still. Just a week or two ago, it didn't have a roof. They've been working on this like crazy. It's not quite open yet. Boy, is this thing massive. It absolutely dwarfs the Haunted Mansion behind it. From the ground level, it looks higher than Tiana's mountain over there. That's a gargantuan whopper of a change. I keep hearing people walking by and going, bro, what is that? And as expected, it's not even open yet and causing a huge traffic jam. Like, I'm sure I'll get used to that and I won't even see it anymore. But at the moment, look at that, it's blocking out Tiana's entire Bayou Adventure. I've been kind of ignoring this whole area, so it's crazy to see it all coming together. Not all the construction walls are down, though. Because along with retheming Splash Mountain and turning the French Market into Tiana's Palace, they have completely redone the queue for the Haunted Mansion and the area out here between it and Tiana's Palace, which we'll get to in a second. Because although I heard the walls had all come down the other day, it turns out just inside the Haunted Mansion's gates, that new standby queue is not finished, so some of those construction walls are still up, meaning Haunted Mansion is still on a virtual queue only basis. But look at this. Look at the whole area in front of it. This whole area is completely transformed. I mean, look at this. Look at the wide open walkways in front of the queue for the Haunted Mansion. They got a little bit of garden theming here, a little New Orleans action. Gone is the old fountain that used to be in the center of a very grassy courtyard. It looks like the couple of the old Magnolia trees have survived here with the fencing around them. But otherwise, this whole area is completely transformed to get more people, easier access to the train, easier access to Tiana's Palace, and I'm assuming plenty of room for overflow for the Haunted Mansion queue. Look at that. You can see a little bit of it back there. See that new sort of greenhouse or solarium thing over there? They've sort of made this a lot more like the queue for Phantom Manor in Paris, or like the one in Florida. There's a much more extended queue and sort of graveyard scene, a little more architecture before you get into the actual building. And they even moved the Haunted Mansion area popcorn cart further back here over by the Frontierland train station, creating somewhere to fit those long popcorn bucket lines. And look at this one that's out here today. People are going nuts for this gingerbread house here, which reminds me to tell you, today is not just the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, adventure. It's also the first official day of the Christmas season, so it's like crowd apocalypse over on Main Street as they unveil the first Christmas parades and all the decorations. So we could barely walk over there. We've got one last chance to get on Tiana in the virtual queue in just a couple of seconds. If that fails, well, I've still got another mission up my sleeve. Here we go, it's the moment of truth. Allie is checking to see if we got it. Did we get it?
No, we didn't get it.
No, we didn't get it. Well, that's okay.
That was crazy. I just clicked it and it was like gone.
In 1 second.
Yeah.
Like lightning. All right, well, Tiana's officially out for us then. I'm just gonna take a little bit more of a look around the brand new version of Magnolia Park, which is what this little open air sort of area is called. It's funny because when they announced they were going to change it and close it up, people were freaking out like, no, not the original Magnolia Park. But in fact, this isn't the original Magnolia Park. The first area to be called Magnolia Park at Disneyland was also located very near to the Frontierland station, but not this one. I'm talking about the old Frontierland station, the one that's still across the tracks today, but used to be located in a whole different area. The original Magnolia Park was sort of similar in that it was a wide open space, and you could also hear the beautiful sounds of jazz bands, and there was room to watch performances of musical groups, because in fact it was named after the Magnolia Park Bandstand, a giant gazebo bandstand that was originally supposed to stand in Town Square at Disneyland, where the Christmas tree is currently standing. But basically at the last second, right before Disneyland opened in 1955, Walt Disney made the decision to move it because it blocked guests' first view of the castle. And so it was basically moved to a little space behind an old restaurant that was here, the Chicken Plantation, sort of next to the end of Adventureland, and next door to the original Frontierland train station, which was roughly about where the facade for Pirates is now, sort of. So that original Magnolia Park with its bandstand was actually here before New Orleans Square was even here. So my understanding is when they built Pirates of the Caribbean and New Orleans Square, they ripped down the old bandstand and created that new open space between the French Market and the Haunted Mansion. What I've always heard is that the cast members were originally referring to it as Magnolia Park. It didn't open with that name, but it just sort of got grandfathered in from the old Magnolia Park. And by the way, that original bandstand still survives. It's down in Corona Del Mar, Newport Beach area, at Rogers Gardens. We've been down there quite a few times to check that out. Pretty cool, a very obscure piece of Disneyland history that still survives. And I'm sure we'll get a chance to go into much more detail about all this when the crowds thin out over there. But I was just thinking, the original Magnolia Park was over here in this area, very near this giant magnolia tree, and it pre-existed New Orleans Square, but it was next door to New Orleans Street right here. The original New Orleans themed area of Disneyland, which included Aunt Jemima's Pancake House right here. So the concept of a New Orleans themed Magnolia Park actually goes back pretty much all the way to the beginning. All right, anyway, since we are not going to get on Tiana, we might as well wait for the sun to go completely down and see what that whole area looks like at night. Right on the fence about even uploading this. I do this a lot where I'll go and I'm planning on filming something and get there and then it doesn't work out and then I'll just delete it. But there are quite a lot of changes, so I might as well show you my failure, right? Show my math here. Oh, my math was also a failure. I'll tell you one thing that's not a fail though, being here at golden hour. Look how pretty everything looks right now. I always say bad weather makes good sunsets, and the weather's kind of weird today. It's really cold and windy. Maybe I shouldn't say it's cold while my friend Adam is literally up in the Arctic Circle. But it's cold to me, okay? I'm like an orange. I was raised here in Anaheim. We may not be on Tiana, but it is nice to see Christmas come back to the park. And look at that. Nothing says Christmas like a shooting gallery. Take that, Mrs. Claus! Yes, sir, they had a different type of Christian in the Old West. This guy remembers. Ooh, they got all the Christmas merch back in there. I'd go try to check some of it out, except I have reason to believe we'll be looking at a whole different kind of batch of Disney Christmas merchandise in just a couple days. So I've got to save my pennies. I've got to be strategic here. By the way, I'd love to say like, oh, my Disney Christmas wish was broken by not getting on Tiana. And then I remembered a different and better Disney Christmas wish might be fulfilled in the next couple of days, so stay tuned. At least we got here so late that the sun is now going down, and that means we're gonna get the unexpected pleasure of seeing the first night of Christmas at Disneyland. So honestly, after they announced the opening of Tiana and the Magnolia Park area, I wasn't thinking about Christmas at all. Walt was, though. Walt never forgets about Christmas. And hey, if my luck changes right now, I might get a chance to see the tree lighting. I think it goes down at 5, but the clock has not been my friend today.
Good evening, everyone. In keeping with our time-honored tradition, we invite you to turn your attention to Town Square for the lighting of our beautiful Christmas tree. Here in the magical place where dreams come true, we hope you'll share the spirit of the season by helping us light our Yuletide tree. So on the count of 3, everyone please join together in saying Happy Holidays. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Happy Holidays! And a very pleasant evening to one and all from the various places.
I was being quiet just for David. He's like, you can stand next to me, but you cannot talk. That was hard. That was harder than I thought it was going to be.
I could feel you struggling the whole time.
Woo! I did it.
But now you can let it go.
I was quiet for 1 minute. All right, well, Christmas has officially begun at Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom, and I would hang around to see the first nighttime parade. Except for 1, look at the size of that crowd. And 2, Allie already picked us up some hot dogs. So we're headed over to the Tomorrowland Terrace to get some fries to go with those sweet gluten-free dogs. I try not to eat at the park because we live so close, but I can't fail at Tiana and be hungry. I don't need to be both. I can take being a failure, but I can't take starving. See, just brought over the gluten-free hot dog from Coke Corner. All right, well, we're gonna close out this very bizarre, unusual adventure by traveling back across the park, over back to the Tiana area, see what that looks like at night, satisfy my curiosity, then go home and sleep well. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about It's a Small World holiday. Unfortunately, the parade's about to come through there, so due to traffic concerns, we're not going that way. It'll be there. I almost feel like today doesn't count. Next time I come back, I'm gonna go full Christmas. What does that mean? I can't tell you. It's a secret. All right, we're gonna make this part pretty quick because Allie and I have to be on a plane in like 24 hours from when you're seeing this. Neither of us is feeling that great. The crowds have been wild, the headaches are galore. But I just wanted to soak up some more first night vibes of this since it's officially been open. The new Magnolia Park got these new bright shiny lamps over here, so it's much better lit than it's ever been before. Lots of nifty light up features, and I presume this guy will be spitting water out of his mouth eventually. To be honest with you, I'm actually impressed with this space, or I should say much less disappointed than I thought I would be. The one thing is, I need benches. If there were benches everywhere, this would be lovely. Okay, to be fair, the walls just came down. Maybe they will have some benches coming out soon. But all in all, I'd say if this isn't an improvement, it's at least not worse. And to be honest with you, the Haunted Mansion queue is looking probably a lot better than it's ever looked before. I tend to be very hesitant for change. Like, I don't want things to change too fast. Slow it down. And they've been moving at light speed lately. But come on, what was the theme of the Haunted Mansion queue before? Bunch of switchback railings. So this should be an improvement. I'm excited to see what this ends up being like. In the meantime, let's go see what that other new feature looks like at night. You know which new feature I'm talking about, right? Disneyland's newest, most exciting attraction, the world's largest barn. It was so big, I forgot Tiana was hiding behind it. Look at the size of that thing. Maybe it'll blend in better after a while. At least it's not yellow like the concept art showed it. It blends in, at least color-wise, a lot better than I thought it would. Because this artwork really made it look like it was going to be yellow and green. Instead, it's like this nice, weird, off-white gray. Maybe a little bit of eggshell white on there. Could be Swiss coffee, I don't know. My assumption is they're going to eventually make us exit the Haunted Mansion through this building. We'll see if that comes to pass. But in the meantime, Tiana. I must admit, Splash Mountain was looking pretty dark there, especially towards the end, the last couple of years. And the lighting out here is phenomenal. You got the little lightning bugs up in the tree. Look at that, the logs going by down here. All this soft sort of purpley blue lighting. It's actually really gorgeous. It's nice to hear like some water sounds out here and hear the screams of wet log riders again. Seeing people lined up to see their loved ones come off the ride with soggy pants. I haven't been inside in person yet, but boy, does it look good on the outside. A+. A+. So weird to see this again, you know? People lined up out here. Filmmen taking pictures of people coming down on the logs. I haven't seen it like this without the construction walls since the final night of Splash Mountain. Allie and I were out here. Everyone was cheering. We were watching Tony Baxter watch people cheer and walk away with a tear in his eye. His eyes were sweaty with respect. It feels like it was so long ago, but also not long at all. So they did this pretty fast. They pulled it off quickly. I do appreciate the new Bayou Country sign. It's a nice wood carving right there, nice craftsmanship. And like I said earlier, it's really nice to see the sneaky little makeout path come back. It's weird though, because I've never stood over here in this without that zippity-doo-dah music just playing on a loop. Very weird. Oh, and hey, memories are flooding back. Remember this spot right here, Allie? This is where you took a nap on the 60th anniversary 24-hour day. She just went to sleep right there on the ground. This is nice to see back. Yes, it's a completely different ride. It always annoys me when people are like, it's literally the same ride, it just has a different theme. Storytelling is the ride, guys. It's not like it was a Six Flags coaster, right? It's a dark ride. It's supposed to tell a story, so changing the story is fundamentally changing the ride. That's just my opinion. But, so I haven't done the new story yet, new ride. I've seen some POV videos and all that stuff. Can't wait to ride it for myself. Didn't happen today, but that's okay. I still got lucky because I got to hang out with you, Allie. See, I was one of those people that was sad about the old ride leaving, but I wasn't mad about the new ride coming, if that makes sense. Like, this isn't something I grew up with, but a lot of people did grow up with this, so it's cool to see something fresh and new and sort of new life coming into this old area. Some of these spaces are downright gorgeous. Ray's Beret is actually phenomenal on the inside. It's like really pretty. And look, there's even a little Disney magic in here. They put the kind of LED lights that flicker on camera. Sorry about that. Look at the magic in the windows. Mainly, and I wasn't thinking about this at all, the sort of refresh of the land and all the additional lighting is knocking my socks off. Like, Critter Country has not been this exciting or this pumped up, and especially this nice and pumped up on a kind of cold night in decades, and now it's bumping. And this is just for virtual queues. Imagine when there's a standby line. People are loving this. I suspect I'll prefer the old ride just for nostalgic reasons, just for growing up with it. But I have to say, this is not bad. It turned out rather nicely over here. And Princess and the Frog is a good film, you know? Could be worse. I mean, at least it's not like they got rid of Rivers of America or anything, right? Too soon. Literally, we don't know if that's happening. Oh, I hope it doesn't happen. Dude, and I gotta say, especially with these new shops like the Critter Club, they are knocking it out of the park. Well, I guess they're knocking it into the park. Look at all the theming. Look how amazing everything looks. The merchandise, just the displays in here. There's characters. There's new wood carvings. The lighting is really cool. It keeps flickering, but other than that, it's amazing. All right, it's new. It takes me a while to get used to things that are new. And I'm frustrated that I failed at getting on the ride today. But I gotta say, so far, so good. However, like I said, and it was not a joke, Allie and I have basically got to be on an airplane within 24 hours of you seeing this video. And we've got to go home and pack up everything we own. Today's adventure wasn't exactly what we wanted, but you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. We had a good time, and I hope you did too, but for now, I think we've done all the damage we're capable of. So thank you all for watching. Oh, before I forget, I should mention this actually. Christmas is coming, and we do still have copies of my book available on the online store. I think there's pins and some other old merch. We may have some new stuff in December, but just in case, the books are there now, just letting you know. We're not running out yet, but the supply is getting tight. It's getting a little tight. Whew, all right, and now that I've said that, we've all done our duty. Until next time, go home and sleep well.